Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive into one of the most fascinating moments in history, the secret battle that ended the Roman Republic. But before we get into the intrigue, backstabbing, and power plays that reshaped the ancient world forever, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on more exciting history videos. Also, grab some snacks or drinks. Trust me, this is going to be a fun journey. You won't want to miss a single moment of this tale of political plots and secret alliances. Now let's get into it. Chapter 1. The Republic in Crisis. By the time we reached the 1st century BCE, the Roman Republic was already crumbling from within. Years of expansion had made Rome a global superpower, but with great power came great internal problems. Class tensions were boiling over, with the wealthy elite, the patricians, controlling most of the land and wealth, while the common people, the plebeians, suffered under economic strain. Add to that the rise of ambitious generals, each with their own loyal armies, and you have a recipe for chaos. But the Republic didn't fall overnight. It took decades of political maneuvering, civil wars, and assassinations. However, one particular confrontation in this long saga stands out as the secret tipping point that pushed Rome beyond the brink, and most people don't even know about it. Chapter 2. The players in the game, Pompey, Crassus, and Caesar. To understand this secret battle, we need to get familiar with the key players who controlled the Republic during its final days. The most powerful trio in Rome was the so-called First Triumvirate Pompey, Crassus, and Julius Caesar. Pompey the Great, a celebrated general who had conquered much of the eastern Mediterranean. His reputation as a war hero made him incredibly popular, but he was always concerned with maintaining his power at home. Crassus, one of the wealthiest men in Roman history, known for his ruthless business practices and political ambitions. He had a personal rivalry with Pompey, but teamed up with him to balance the power of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar. The most ambitious of the three, Caesar had already made a name for himself in Gaul, where he conducted a brutal military campaign. He was the rising star, but his thirst for power put him on a collision course with his fellow triumvirs. Together they held the reins of power, but only barely. The secret tension between them was about to explode. Chapter 3. The Secret Battle of Karai. While the Roman Republic was teetering on the edge, one major battle would change everything: the Battle of Karai in 53 BCE. Most people think the final nail in the Republic's coffin came with Julius Caesar crossing the Rubicon in 49 BCE, but in reality it all started with Crassus's disastrous campaign against the Parthian Empire. Crassus, hungry for military glory to match that of Caesar and Pompeii, decided to invade Parthia, modern-day Iran and Iraq. But what began as a bid for fame quickly became a nightmare. In one of the worst defeats in Roman history, Crassus led 40,000 soldiers into the desert, only to be ambushed and decimated by the Parthian cavalry. The defeat at Karai left 20,000 Roman soldiers dead, and Crassus himself was killed. His death wasn't just the loss of a general. It shattered the fragile balance of power between Pompey, Caesar, and Crassus. With Crassus gone, the alliance that had held the Roman Republic together was broken, and it set Pompey and Caesar on a direct path to war. Chapter 4. The Fallout of Crassus's Defeat. So why was the Battle of Karai so critical in ending the Republic? First, Crassus's death removed one of the three most powerful men in Rome. Without his wealth and influence, Caesar and Pompey were no longer bound by their uneasy alliance. The two men now saw each other as direct threats, with no neutral third party to mediate between them. Second, the loss at Karai weakened Rome's military might, emboldening Rome's enemies and creating instability both abroad and at home. The defeat also embarrassed Rome and led to a crisis of confidence among the people. Many Romans began to see their leaders as reckless and incompetent, further fueling discontent. The vacuum left by Crassus's death meant that Pompey and Caesar were headed for an inevitable showdown, and neither was willing to back down. Chapter 5. The Road to Civil War. With Crassus gone, Caesar and Pompey were left to battle for control of Rome. At first, Pompey tried to maintain the support of the Senate and used his political connections to keep Caesar in check. Meanwhile, Caesar, returning from his successful campaigns in Gaul, had other plans. Caesar's growing popularity with the army and the people made him a dangerous rival to Pompey, who was still technically in charge of Rome's political machinery. The Senate, wary of Caesar's ambitions, ordered him to disband his army and return to Rome. But Caesar wasn't about to lose everything he had fought for. In 49 BCE, Julius Caesar made the fateful decision to cross the Rubicon River with his army, an illegal act of war against the Roman Senate. "The die is cast," Caesar famously declared, knowing full well that his actions would plunge Rome into civil war. Chapter 6. Pompey versus Caesar, the final clash. What followed was a brutal civil war between Caesar's forces and Pompey's armies, both of whom believed they were fighting to save Rome. Pompey commanded the Senate's support and had vast resources at his disposal, but Caesar's soldiers were fiercely loyal to him after years of hard-won victories. In 48 BCE, Pompey's forces met Caesar's army in the decisive Battle of Pharsalus. Despite having the advantage in numbers, Pompey was outmaneuvered and defeated. He fled to Egypt, where he was assassinated by Egyptian officials hoping to win favor with Caesar. With Pompey gone, Caesar became the undisputed ruler of Rome. The Republic was, for all intents and purposes, dead. What followed was the establishment of the Roman Empire, with Caesar's grandnephew Augustus ultimately becoming its first emperor. Chapter 7. The Legacy of Karai and the Fall of the Republic. Though it is often overshadowed by other events, the Battle of Karai was the real beginning of the end for the Roman Republic. Crassus's defeat removed the final check on Caesar's ambitions and shattered the delicate balance of power that had kept the Republic afloat for decades. It set into motion a series of events that led to civil war, the rise of Caesar, and the eventual transformation of Rome into an empire. The consequences of this single, disastrous campaign rippled throughout history, forever changing the course of Western civilization. Conclusion. So there you have it. The secret battle that ended the Roman Republic wasn't fought in Rome or even in Italy, but far off in the desert sands of Parthia. Crassus's defeat at Karai may not be as well known as Caesar's crossing of the Rubicon, but it was just as important in shaping the future of Rome and the world. What do you think? Could Rome have survived if Crassus had won? And what's your favorite moment from ancient Roman history? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more exciting historical deep dives like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.